Welcome Virgo to your Virgo December 2020 reading. I'm Nigel Saint James. For those of you who are only stopping by for the first time, pleasure to meet you, and welcome back to the subscribers. Great love and energy towards you as always. Now, if you would like to have a personal clairvoyant reading with me, then just check out the information that's in the description box below. But now I'm going to take 5 cards to see what is your energy for this December 2020. And let's have a look at the first one. There is the 6 of Cups. Well, that's a great card, I think. Let's have a look at it here. This is the Green Man. The Green Man. Well, it's an unusual deck, this. So it's going to require an unusual reading. There's the 5 of Wands. Oh, I wonder what that means for you. It depends what other cards are around. There's the 3 of Cups. Well, that's becoming clearer, I think. And finally, which is this one here? And that is the 1 of Cups. Look, Virgo, why don't you come and have a look at the imagery on these cards together with me while I do the reading for you. Now, next month's reading will be published on Wednesday, the 9th of December at 2 p.m. US Eastern Time. Where shall we go? Well, this obviously is here just as a message, I think, and what does it have to say? This deck of cards is an unusual deck, and it needs to be read in something of an unusual way, I think. Well, I have Saturn in the first decan of Leo, 23rd of July to about the 2nd of August. Well, Saturn and Leo, they don't really get on, and that's because Leo wants to be creative and express itself, while Saturn can be seen often as appearing cold and dense and wanting to set boundaries and limits. And Leo is a fire sign, and it's in the fire suit here of Wands. And there's, in this number 5 here, added to it the energy of Mars, because mystically I have Mars associated with the 5 numerologically. And so we have the situation where we have Saturn coming in and trying to dampen down all of this fire energy. And so there is a sort of an astrological discord in the energies that are about. But more particularly, what this is saying to me is that 5, well, the 5th chakra is the throat center and relates to unobstructed expression. Now, although this can be generalized to any kind of self-expression or creativity, I think it's important to know that the more specific focus is expression through voice, whether that is singing or public speaking, performing, or just speaking your truth. Now, as the astrology of the card for me indicates, the 5 here indicates some kind of a struggle. The 5 of Wands in your situation this month is the struggle to overcome obstacles and express yourself freely. Sometimes the obstacles are external, when, for example, your creative work doesn't find an audience or someone criticizes what you say. At other times, the restrictive influences have been internalized. If you haven't received support for expressing yourself, or you've had experiences where others have judged you or condemned you or simply ignored what you've created, it will be more difficult to give yourself permission to express freely. Even anticipating judgment from others can lead to self-censorship. Do you understand? Now, the key symbol for me in this painting, just to have a look at it, is this mushroom type pattern that's going on here. Now, visualize a flow of energy rising upward like a water fountain. When that stream hits a ceiling, it tends to break off into different directions, with each new stream curling downward and inward. The result is something that looks like a mushroom. I suppose the strength of this symbol lies in the fact that the energy doesn't just stop or back up, but keeps moving in new directions, keeping Your energy moving is what this is about, I think, this month. Sometimes your expressions will meet with resistance or negativity. Well, welcome to the world. And the challenge is not to cut yourself off in response. Cutting off your expression backs up your energy and can lead to stagnation. It could even lead to depression. Depression comes with literally suppressing your natural energy flow, and the antidote is to keep the energy flowing regardless of minor impediments. Okay? Let's have a look at it in the context of these other cards. What else are we getting here? You need to find new avenues of expression when those that you are using are blocked. Now, one secret to keeping the energy flowing is to stop editing yourself and let go of concern about what comes out. If you think that everything you say or create must be beautiful, elegant, and refined, that your every effort must win the highest honor, this will stop your natural flow. Let yourself be playful, like a little lamb. The openness of play allows for invention and newness in a way that high expectations do not. So I think it's important for you to keep your expression flowing. Now, you may have had some recent setbacks, but don't let that discourage you, because we all have obstacles to overcome. That is what life is about. Remember, the energy will keep turning and flowing on its own if you can give it room to do so. Now, feel how your energy wants to express itself and find a way to support that. It is important for you to keep your energy flowing this month, as you will do, because you also have such good things coming along. Let's have a look at this One of Cups as just an example too. You got the 1, you got the 6. Was there another cups around somewhere? The 3, there it is. Let's have a look at this one, shall we? Now, 1s represent a sense of wholeness and perfection, and the One of Cups reflects this on the emotional plane. You use this card to reflect the state of consciousness related to being in the womb also. You may not understand this, or know it now. You've forgotten when you were born, but you were conscious when you were inside your mother's womb. This energy represents the merged state in which your needs are automatically met and you are completely nurtured. Although development requires that you emerge from this non-dual consciousness and learn to take care of yourself, you can periodically dissolve back into this primordial union. It is a state of rest and satisfaction, an oceanic state graphically represented here by the depiction of the womb and the ocean. This is really the lord of the root of the power of water. It speaks of love in its purest sense, abundance in love, may well be new relationships and the reinvigoration of partnered relationships. You may also hear of birth or pregnancy. There's a great deal of sensual passion around at the moment, and emotional balance is available to be used and drawn upon by you, for months to come. Now, the people important to you during this time are, I think, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and Libra. Now, the cup suit embodies your experience of relationships, the pursuit of happiness, love, fulfillment, pleasure. But we can't have these experiences without opposites. There's a great deal of overflowing love, emotional clarity, of giving and receiving. You are now in contact with all-embracing love. It fills you, and you can pass it on generously, lavishly to others. What is your way of expressing love? This card represents unconditional love, so you should also give and forgive unconditionally in order to get inner peace. And say this to yourself at this time: all-encompassing love fills me and my environment. Now, to continue with the Cups suit, let us look at the number 3. What does the 3 have to say for you, my dear friend? Now, here we have the 3 of Cups. Well, here we see an angel pouring from an urn while what looks like elves and fairies play in the stream of abundance. Receiving grace is what they call it, the developer, the artist. Now, I suppose it's called receiving grace because abundance isn't something that is earned, but something which is freely given. Your challenge is to receive it. This is largely a matter of perception, caught in the inflated expectations of modern culture or of our own personal deprivation story. And we all have one, don't we? Be honest. You may not recognize how fortunate you actually are. We can be stuck in a what isn't quite right sense and lose awareness of how much we have going for us. And certainly you have a lot going for you. So giving thanks and practicing gratitude are part of what can open you to receive. There's no doubt about that. And when you revel in what you are given, a sense of plenty saturates your consciousness and colors your perception. It will even attract plenty, more plenty to you. Rather than feel frustrated and deprived, you feel blessed. You experience the world as a generous place which is responsive to your needs. It is as if the world, like a good parent, sees and meets you. If your feelings, needs, and essential nature were not adequately mirrored as a child, and you haven't made up for this deficit, then it's harder to experience the world as meeting you in this way. But you can change that. You can do anything. Without adequate mirroring, you wilt inside, often feeling inadequate and disconnected. And that has happened from time to time, momentarily, doubting yourself, that you are unable to stay in your power or hold your seat. One more limited sense of self, along with the view of the world as withholding, makes it harder to receive the grace that is given. But the astrology of this card here is that of Mercury in the second decan of Cancer, the 2nd to the 11th of July. Cancer is the most maternal of the signs. And Cancer people can communicate with feeling, conveying a sensitive, withdrawn and thoughtful, gentle, intuitive nature. Sometimes they can get a bit personal, take things a bit personally, I suppose, but don't tell them that. Now, Mercury in Cancer. Mercury is about will and communication in Cancer, which is nurturing. So you'll find that you'll be able to express your feelings fully with people that you are close to, and that is only going to enrich your life. It will be the birth of an idea or the goal here. You may even hear of the birth or the conception of a child. I see you sharing your success with others, and life for you is going to feel good. It's a good time to tell other people that you love them, a good time to boost the morale of other people, particularly those people to whom kind words and deeds are rarely offered. I can't tell you the karmic reward that you receive for that. It echoes throughout eternity. I think this is also saying to you to enjoy your riches at the moment, but to be aware of their limitations. And I think there's also going to be an outpouring of love to 3 very significant people. And Mercury, which is about communications, is exhorting you to tell people. It's saying to you, tell those people that you love, that you do love them. Now, let's have a look at the 6 of Cups. All the cups, lots of emotions for you. Lots of emotions. We did the 5 of Wands. What's left after this? The Green Man. Well, we'll look at this first. I got a feeling this is going to be good. Let's have a look at it and see it here. Well, really we have two people, as far as I can make out, two people who seem to be resting on one another, dancing and enjoying themselves and enjoying each other's company. This is the Lord of Pleasure. It is the Sun ruling the second decan of Scorpio. Now, mystically, I have the Sun associated with the number 6 here as well. And incidentally, I also spiritually have it associated with Krishna consciousness or with Christ consciousness. So we have a double dose of the Sun in Scorpio. And a double Sun reveals what Scorpio wants to hide. Now I see here lust, enjoyment, pleasure in sexual relationships, a rich exchange of sexual and heart energy and of emotional renewal. There is also associated with this energy here, where it's placed and what's around it, family support and communication, possibly communication with ancestors, I think. There's a lot of pleasure around here. Look, I'll be frank, the card is very much one which is centered on sexuality, but the pleasure is a kind of pleasure which is completely harmonized, because the zodiacal sign governing this card for me, which is Scorpio, well, Scorpio, pleasure here in Scorpio is rooted in its most convenient soil, isn't it? This is a preeminently fertile card and really one of the best in the pack. This is also talking to me of pleasure which is received possibly against a background of some hardship, because I'm looking at this sort of ocean that's out there. You may have had to sail across the ocean of troubles to be going through here. I'm also getting around this an energy here which is that of healing and transformation. Great degree of healing and transformation here. The emphasis here is on a relationship, or the desire to have a relationship, but the desire for the relationship that you want is a deep relationship, a relationship that goes deep, one that will improve both the individuals, where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. I'd say this to you now because this energy is saying this, that you should enjoy now all which life gives you. This is the best way to express your gratitude. Are you holding on to old beliefs which prevent your enjoyment of pleasure? Do you own emotional wealth and share it with other people? And say to yourself, I am now open to a partner or my partner with whom I can share the joys of love on all levels. Well, finally, let's have a look at this remaining card, which is what? Ruling harmony with nature, the Green Man. Well, let's have a look at it. It's Major Arcana. Now, that's it. Well, I think that this card here, in this position, represents the principle of power and leadership. It also represents what can be called father energy, although its presentation here is in a form that is not often seen in our current culture. I think there's also a thread in this for me, that this Green Man represents the intelligence of nature and bringing that knowledge to the human community. I get the feeling that the Green Man here leads not by lording power over others, but by encouraging others with a vision of the possible. He can empower others because he is secure in his own power and thus not easily threatened. He holds his authority lightly and leads by example rather than by command. The Green Man here, I think, embodies a sense of balance, insight, and of confidence, as well as will and power to make and to do, because he is in charge of his feelings and ambitions rather than being run by them, and he knows his own weaknesses. He can avoid many of the shadow issues that often trip people who are in positions of authority. He is, for me, the son of the morning, the chief among the mighty. He is Mars ruling Aries with the sun exalted. I think you'll be primarily concerned with power and control over other people or over yourself at this time. Now, you will be a natural leader and organizer. You'll have willpower and good judgment as a result of the life experiences which you've had to date. And you are going to obtain success through discipline and application. And you will, I think, also be a rational thinker and maybe pay some attention to detail. Now, status is going to be important for you during this period, as is material security and stability. And you may find that you are quite fiery and volatile during this period, because I don't get the feeling that this man is passive at all. You will, I think, be wanting to bring order and structure to your affairs, establishing stability around things. Now, you will have ambition, and you may find that you are taking a stand for something. But I think that you may well be quite firm with yourself and with other people. And there's someone here who's going to be promoted to, I think, quite a senior role. This is really a great time for you to bring about change or to establish a new beginning and trust your own energy and move with it. What revitalization does your life need? Are there steps you would like to take towards this? Examine yourself critically, especially in regard to your relationships with people whom you might consider to be subordinates, or to people you might consider to be your bosses and things. But say this to yourself: I enjoy initiating projects. I value and honor my leadership ability. I am a responsible person. I trust my power. I rule by serving. I serve by ruling. What a particularly fantastic spread for you. You've got everything going for you this month. Well done, Virgo. That's the way it is for you this month. Well, I thought that was going to be good, and it was. I hope you enjoyed that reading as much as I did providing it to you. Now, don't forget, make sure you check out your 2021 annual reading. If you're a subscriber, of course, it's delivered into your subscription box, or just have a look at the playlist that's on the channel. It's being published the day before Thanksgiving in the afternoon, US Eastern Time. But look, remember one thing always, and it is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, it's bye for now.